on my crawlers only page.
Naughty, naughty. You literally have to drive through a car.
Howdy, howdy, let's get rowdy. We're out here at our favorite watering hole again. We're gonna try to hit some new trails. Virgil, Forrest, Joel. We got Daniel and his new rear steer, and we're gonna try to party. It's gonna be pretty fun. Is Colby gonna get rowdy?
We got it though.
Howdy, howdy, let's get rowdy. Throttle control. Beep, beep, beep. Boom, we're on the trail, and not just any trail, but a trail we have never done before. I have a lot of favorite trails, but none of them top the ones that we have not yet done. That is always my favorite trail. You never know what obstacles are ahead of you, and every trail has its own character and unique beauty. Today is going to be a great day.
Oh! You literally have to drive through a car.
That's crazy. You might be wondering how this vehicle got here on such little tires. The same way that these washes were cut and the same way that all the other trash from the roads above get here. Flash flooding caused by massive desert downpours.
What the heck? My mind is blown.
Trying to get a monster truck. And I started thinking, I don't want to cut a tire on this thing.
Look at the steering wheel. Oh my God. Wow. Somebody had a bad day. Phew. All right, you guys have got to tell me what you think about that car on this trail. Leave a dirty little comment.
Crack obstacles always look very intimidating, knowing if you fall in one, it's going to do a lot of damage to your rig and be a lot of work to get it out. This crack is pretty straightforward, so all you have to do is make sure that you have your buggy centered and keep equal amounts of tire contact from each tire on either side of the axles on the obstacle.
I almost went down and then I didn't. Oh, the cactus loves the trail.
So far this trail has been absolutely gorgeous, and the obstacles have been low stress but just have enough technical element to keep it fun. Sometimes trails like this catch you sleeping and you start underestimating the obstacles and not paying much attention, and then you end up like me on this next obstacle. Let me tell you where I went wrong here. As I was approaching this obstacle, I was chit-chatting along and wasn't paying attention to how big that break over the center line was. Everything else on this trail drove super easy, So I just plugged it down the center and I bellied out and did a true turtle. I was left with no option but to wiggle around until I bit off enough traction to pull me up the obstacle.
Bronson brought the drama. What are you gonna do?
Let's feel something out. That's not gonna work, and then I'll end up going the same way.
So if you start, that's not gonna work.
At least I'm gonna feel it first.
Yeah. Sweet. Good luck. I believe in you. Okay, so
Virgil opts to go to the right line, which looks like it's way bigger, and it is. It's a lot taller, but the roll over angle on that right side is far less, and when he falls into that crack, it clearances his chassis, so that way he's able to drive right up it because he's not getting hung up on the chassis belly.
Oh, he's on his body. Oh, there it goes. Pop right off. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Good shit.
Oh, look at the rock. Woo! That was rad. Yeah, buddy. All right, Forrest, what's your approach?
I'm gonna try the left line.
Left line. That's the most fun about some of these obstacles is you can take whatever line you want.
Forrest approached it a lot like I did, but instead of just going straight up the center line, he used his rear steer and then he faded driver with his rear to stay away from that huge angled rock. This was a really cool obstacle because you got to see 3 different ways to get up it. We all made it up, but I definitely struggled the most. And then you see why you need to stay away from the big angles that belly you out and put you in full turtle.
That's what Bronson was supposed to do.
Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Subscribe! Buggies on buggies on buggies. Get up and then you can climb, okay? Bobby's turn! Hey, my name's Jess. I'm from the YouTube channel called Wreck Gear, and I like waterfalls. More perspective, waterfalls.
As we finish up the last waterfall of this trail, it looks like we have plenty of time for the next one. We didn't have a whole lot of drama on this trail. We definitely didn't struggle a whole lot. It was just a good, fun trail. That being said, we're on to the next one. This one's supposed to be quite a bit harder from what we've heard, and a lot of the locals struggle on it. So we're gonna go try to see if we can tackle it.
I have to drink some of this pineapple mango juice because my pepper jerky was extra peppery. Yeah, those are my white girl taste buds. I know. We're on trail number 2 of the day. It's another trail we can't tell you the name of, but it's a trail and you get to watch. Check it out.
So far, the second trail has been great. It's super, super tight. It's a very slot trail. Not a whole lot of room for different lines or taking different approaches. Everything here is extremely undercut and the rock is so sharp, but it's making it an extremely unique and fun trail so far.
is fine.
We always accuse Virgil of having an anti-gravity button in his buggy because anytime he gets sideways, he can lift one tire. He can almost lift two tires and be on his side without rolling. And that's to blame on his great suspension setup. He's got this rig so dialed, and he's such a good driver in a drag axle that he uses all the tools that he has in his bag to make sure he can keep up with the rear steers.
Literally the coolest drag axle buggy with one of the freaking coolest drivers. Yes! Those are my friends. They're cool. Phew, that looks fun. Cut. Wiggle. There you go. Keep going.
As you can tell right there, this obstacle is super tough. Reason being is, see that rock right in front of my hood? That thing is a shelf, and there's a huge hole underneath it, and you have to get your tire somehow over the shelf, which is way higher than your 42. So you have to ride that rock on the left as high as you possibly can without rolling, and trying to squeeze your passenger tire onto the edge of the shelf rock. And when you're able to do that, that's what is going to be able to get you up. But you got to do that without going too high on the other rock, which will roll you.
A little bit. There we go. Yeah. Well, that was dirty. Phew, that's a little sideways. Yes.
Here's another angle of that undercut shelf rock. You can just see how huge that is compared to his tire there. And you can obviously see if you got stuffed under there, there's no way it's climbing it. So you really got to ride that wall on the driver's side, as you can see he's doing. And once you get up there, then you kind of turn on top of that shelf rock, and then you pull on through. And then your rears, if it gets a little caught under that shelf, you got enough tire up front to help lift it up and over. And that's exactly what Virgil's going to do here.
Dirty. Barely. You were just a half inch away, you would have fell in the undercut.
This here is the make it or break it obstacle. This crack is huge and it's steep. The sides of the walls, they narrow and then they widen at various times and inconsistently. And then there's a big Z in there that you got to manipulate while you're going through the crack. That's what makes this super hard. You can see as I get up here, I'm actually starting to go take that passenger turn in the front to get up and over. And then right here, I'm shimming the steering wheel back and forth because I'm fully bound with the front and still trying to grab traction in the rear. Once I grab that traction, get unbound, I start pulling up and I have to turn all the way driver, and then that gets my rear out of whack to where I have to do a rear dig to the driver's side to realign that square on the crack. And then now that I'm committed and at the top, I just have to focus on making sure that both sides of my tires are equally on those cracks and take it nice and slow and make sure I don't fall in. Virgil squared up on this obstacle and he had the perfect line, and I think he would have had it if he'd have had a couple more goes at it. But due to us running out of time and running 2 trails a day, he opted to go ahead and take a winch so that way we could make sure that we got back to the trailers before dark. got Daniel posting up on the obstacle now with his new rear steer axle that he installed on his old buggy. He's pulling up to this thing and he's going to go into a front dig, and this is going to help line his front end up perfectly on this crack. Mind you, he only has about 3 trips on this rear steer axle. He gets up in the crack, kind of gets jammed up, but he is able to use that rear axle to manipulate his way through and pop out of this crack. I'm going to say that's some damn good driving and maybe a little bit of beginner's luck. Here's Joel. He just got a call from one of his buddies that was out in the same area who had blown up an axle and needed some help. But since he was out here, he wanted to give a stab at it. He was a little rushed and got buck wild, almost went over, saved it, got back off, and decided that he needed to go help his friend because that's the right thing to do.
That was wild, man. That was wild.
Forrest just pulled up. That means driving school is in session. No need to narrate this one. Just watch and learn.
If you like what you saw right there, you should give the subscribe button a little skiddly-do, diddle the notification bell, give this video the fat finger, and leave us a dirty little comment. We'd sure appreciate it.
Make sure to check out our Instagram. It is at Wrecked Gear, one word I suppose, and I am Jess_Off-road. Check them out, give us a follow. We post pictures and videos of other off-roading we do. Usually it's more time correct as to what's going on.
You can visit me on my Crawlers Only page.
Oh, naughty, naughty.
Just spot me, Colby. Spot me, alright, I'm watching.
One of Colby's favorite things to do is to spot all the rigs through the trails. You don't get to see that a whole lot of times, but she does jump in and spot us, and she does a really good job at it. You can see that she spots me through this whole entire section, and she spotted me a few times before on this trail, and she has such a great time. Super fortunate to have a wheeling family like this, and super fortunate to have a daughter that is into rock crawling as much as I am. You've been doing so good at spotting.
Thanks. I like to try and make a good line where we don't roll over.
Yeah, I like
that. If it's
that.
a little like steep, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to do it the right way.
Yeah.
And that loose rock, it was like catching your axle, and like when you're turning that way, it was like bringing it with you.
Whew.
So, okay, I think we should get moving.
All right. When your 9-year-old daughter's spotting you through one of the harder trails out here, you know she's a boss. Best way to support this channel is by giving the subscribe button a little skiddly do, diddle that notification bell, and give this video the fat finger. And make sure to leave a dirty little comment. And as always, thanks for watching.